In 2022, distributed through the online streaming services of Netflix was Interceptor. The film focused on the character of Captain J.J. Collins, played by Elsa Pataky. The premise of the film had it that the United States had interceptor missiles which were located at particular locations on American soil that could be used to neutralize any nuclear warhead fired towards American territory from the said interceptor missile site. Through events in the film, J.J. Collins was involved within an incident of sexual harassment by one of her superior officers and reported him to the proper authorities, and as a result of the harassment claims, a scandal became public. As a result of the fallout of the harassment, Collins was transferred to one of the distant interceptor missile locations out of reprisal. The film has Collins involved within a plot for the interceptor missiles and eventually prevails with a promotion in rank by the United States President personally for her efforts. The film has its origins in 2017, as the concept of the film wasn't original and from information now known wasn't thought interesting at all. The project would remain abandoned until Netflix actually became interested with the film and decided to finance the production of the film. In 2021, there were plans to release the film theatrically through Australian theaters, but negotiations didn't work, and as a result had a limited release just a week before the film became viewable on Netflix. What was surprising to all whom had worked on the film, that for a time it was the most viewed film on Netflix. The film also had a considerable amount of controversies for supporting or endorsing female empowerment as confronting toxicity/chauvinism within the United States military, as well as stereotypical depictions of Russian people or the Russian military, as well as unfounded conspiracy-based theories. Internet theorists have said that the film more than likely wasn't supposed to have gained the notoriety that it did at that particular time. It was more than likely due to the Netflix algorithm that occasionally recommends content to its subscribers, and as a result, people just happened to see and watch the recommended film. As from there, it was recommended to more people and eventually ended up with the amount that it had. Elsa Pataky was also considered to be a lot of a minor actress that wasn't necessarily well known by international audiences, and information had it that the film was even made in part due to her famous husband Chris Hemsworth, who was also an uncredited producer of the film and even had a cameo within it as well. It was also eerily similar in concept to Extraction, released in 2020, also on Netflix, about an Australian operative, Tyler Rake, whom was caught up in a plot to help save a boy's life. As the film wasn't originally envisioned as a success, but due in part to the COVID-19 pandemic of the time, it became extraordinarily popular, even being one of the most viewed films in Netflix's history. Discussions had it that Chris Hemsworth perhaps had something in mind for his wife to play, and experienced minor success with Interceptor through Netflix, but ironically, the film became a massive success for that short period of time. But the difference was, Extraction had praise for Hemsworth's acting and related action sequences, as well as Tyler Rake. Pataky's acting and action sequences in Interceptor, as well as Collins, wasn't reacted to positively. Due to the negative themes depicted in Interceptor, it later got an extra amount of criticisms as mentioned towards it. With much of the criticism being well deserved, it could not necessarily be discounted that there were some percentages of viewers that actually enjoyed the film, for whatever reason. Critics later mentioned that the success of Interceptor in 2022, whatever the reasons for it, the character of J.J. Collins was much hated for the brief time audiences knew about her before being forgotten. A character can be overrated yet hated because circumstances for the film as well as the actress playing the character in the film were met with controversies.